joining me today with an episode from our Vegetable Kingdom series. Today I will be sauteing some vegetables and we're going to put them over pasta. You want to start by putting about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in your large skillet. I'm using a very large skillet here. My olive oil's in here, and I do have my burner on kind of about halfway between medium and medium low. You don't want to go too high. You don't want your olive oil to smoke. And once your pan is hot, you want to add some chopped onion. I have here just 1 large onion chopped, but it's about a little bit more than 2 cups if you need measurements, but you can use less, obviously. But just 1 large onion, and just add that to your olive oil and stir it around a little bit to coat all of the onion in the oil. And we're going to let this cook for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. You definitely want them translucent. If they're even a little bit caramelized, that's even better. But we're going to cook them slightly before we add the rest of our ingredients. And while these are cooking, I can prep some of my ingredients. I can cook my pasta. So I will pause the video and return once the onions are ready. Now that our onions are translucent, we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic. My cloves were very large. If they were smaller, I would probably add 3 or 4. But it's probably about 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. You could mince the garlic if you don't have a garlic press. That would be fine. And we're just going to saute the garlic ever so slightly with the onions. It can burn if you leave it too long. And I did not let my onions caramelize today. I just let them be kind of translucent. I'm in a time rush, sorry. My garlic is starting to brown slightly, and I don't want it to scorch, so we're ready to move on. To this, I am going to add 1 fennel bulb that I have thinly sliced to the pan. And if you're not familiar with fennel, this is what the fennel bulb looks like when it's not all chopped up and slivered into your pan. This is the bulb, and these are the stalks, and then you have the little fronds, and it looks kind of like dill, but it's not dill. The stems are kind of licoricey tasting, familiar with anise, licorice, that type of a thing. And there is a core inside your bulb, kind of like a cabbage core. So when you're using that, you will cut the core out and then thinly slice your fennel like we did today. Perhaps you have a recipe that would call for it chopped. You could do that as well. Also to the skillet, I am adding, it's a pound of artichoke hearts quartered. Mine are frozen. You could certainly add canned artichoke hearts if you have those, and then you would just need to quarter them. And I am also adding a can of black olives that I've cut in half. They were kind of the bigger size, so I just wanted small little bits to my dish. So we're going to stir this and let this cook. Stir this up, get it mixed in very well, and let this cook for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And I'll flip this back around and let you see it when we are done. So So the fennel, olives, and artichokes have been cooking about 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't really time it. I just kind of go more by the wiltiness of it and that it's heated through. And so now I'm going to add 2 cups of frozen spinach that I have squeezed the water out of. I just kind of open the bag, snip it a little, and squeeze the water out as it's thawing. I'll let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and then you can just snip the corner and squeeze out the water. You could certainly use fresh spinach if you have it. I was out. Also, some other greens would work well. Just something to give it a nice color. Some bitter greens would give it a nice little flavor. My husband's not fond of some of the bitter greens though, but he does love spinach. So we're sticking with spinach for this. And we just want to heat the spinach through. So we'll come back once it's heated up. Just needs a couple minutes. Now that our spinach is heated through, if you wanted, you could add some tomatoes or red pepper. You could even add more greens if you wanted more color. But here, this is how I like it. And now we're going to add to this 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And sometimes I add more, sometimes I add less. It is whatever I have on hand. Sometimes I cook a lot to taste, so I might taste it and decide, oh, it needs more lemon juice or it needs more of this or that. But we're going to start with 2 tablespoons. And then salt and pepper to taste. I have about a teaspoon of each. If you like less or more, that's totally up to you. And we're going to turn the burner off now. And I have about 1/3 cup of olive oil I'm going to drizzle on. And then once everything is stirred together, I am just going to put this on top of some gluten-free pasta that I have. I'm using millet pasta today, but any gluten-free pasta works. And this recipe is a great way to get in some good vegetables, of course, but play around with it and swap out your greens for different things. Or maybe you're not a garlic fan. Maybe you'd like to add some pesto. It's just a wonderful way. But the artichokes are just divine, and the fennel. But let's try a bite, shall we? And the flavors pair very well with the pasta because the pasta's kind of bland and there's some nice good flavors here, especially if you're using bitter greens. Wonderful. I can taste the hint of lemon. If you like a little more lemon, you'd go a little stronger. I probably could have gone with a little more garlic today. I can taste the garlic. It's not maybe as prominent as I would normally like, but it's got good flavor. And well, mess around with your vegetables and see what you can saute up and throw over some pasta. Or maybe pasta's not your thing. You could eat it plain. You could even throw it over some rice or some millet or anything you like. So I hope you enjoy your fennel artichoke pasta dish today, and I look forward to catching you in another one of our Vegetable Kingdom series. Have a great day.